Hey there, it's Christine. I am live with you today for the next 30 minutes, and we are going to have some fun diving into our soul-centered calling and what shifts we might need to make to move us forward. I am doing this simultaneously between Facebook and Instagram, so I am going to do my best to pay attention to both of you wherever you might be watching from. And before I get started, I just want to take a breath and say how grateful I am to be here with you today. And I am excited to have this conversation. And that is because it's been a conversation I've been having a lot lately with a lot of people. And hi, Amazing Woman Nation. So glad you're with me today. So a lot of us have, you may be having a calling, something that you are excited to step into. And I want to make some shifts for all of us today that will help you to move forward in that calling. Before I dive into that material and that information, I want to paint a picture. So take a moment to go inside and think of what is it that you are being called to have, to do, or to be? What is that small voice, or maybe it's a big voice that is speaking to you and saying, this is something that I want you to do? Maybe you think it's your heart talking to you, or it's your soul talking to you. I tend to use soul a lot, but you might resonate more with the word heart. We all have those messages inside us. And from the conversations I've been having with my clients and my friends lately, more and more of us are hearing those callings. So pause for a minute and really just kind of connect in and think of what is currently calling to you, or what has maybe been calling to you that you've been ignoring but are now ready to step into. You have something in mind? And with that in mind, walk this journey with me. Imagine that you have manifested that goal. Imagine a year from now, you have said yes, and you have taken actions, you have overcome obstacles, and you are now living in this new reality, having brought to life a significant portion, if not the whole thing, of what it is that's calling to you. Feel what that feels like. Maybe you've been frustrated that you haven't brought it to life. What are you now feeling? Are you feeling maybe a sense of accomplishment or gratitude? Do you have better relationships now with your family and friends? Do you feel more connected to yourself and are honoring your body and your physical and mental health, and you feel fit and energetic? Maybe you are now able to travel where you haven't been able to travel, or you're serving your community in a way that you haven't been able to. Just feel how amazing that feels to have stepped into and pursued that calling. Feels pretty good, right? That reality is possible for you. But let's look at the reality right now, right? Many of us, including myself, I will say, if you looked a few years back, I had a calling that I was really ignoring. What's the reality now? The reality is there's something maybe that's calling to you, or maybe it's calling to you, but you feel you don't deserve it, or you're overwhelmed, or you have self-doubt that, gosh, who am I to want this big dream? Who am I to go for it? Or it's just so big, it's too much for me to handle, right? Those might be some of the things that are coming up when you think about what it is you want to achieve, and you think about that journey of bringing the goal to life. I've been there, trust me. Several years ago, I had this vision for my business, and I was just going to step into it more fully, and I had some wake-up calls occur. I went through and had a breast cancer diagnosis. Then I went through a divorce, and I wanted this career, this new rejuvenated coaching practice to take off, But I'm like, how am I going to make this happen? It's just too much. And I'm just going to zip that out. So I ended up really kind of swirling for a while and being stuck in self-doubt. And so that might be where you're at too. And I want to say you could absolutely work through that. And one of the ways I was able to work through it is I made some shifts that I'm going to share with you today. And they're shifts that you can make. And I encourage you to take some time to think about those, how these shifts are not showing up in your life. So the first shift, and again, I've seen this time and time again, many of us who have connected with the calling, and maybe this is you, feel like, is it really that important? Or I feel it's important, but gosh, I feel like I'm going to be asking so much of my family, or, how can this really impact, how might this really impact other people around me? Like my life might shift. If I really want to pursue this fully, it's gonna have some negative impact, is a lot of times what we think. And it's like something extra in your life, right? You may not see it as a critical part of your life. So the shift I am offering today is to see these callings as part of your true essence and part of your gifts on what you are here to accomplish in this lifetime. We hear this often. It's what perspective are you looking at something from? Is it from the glass is half full or the glass is half empty? The same applies here. So the shift, when you think about that calling, almost think of it as this is a non-negotiable. Like this is something that is speaking to me, that is part of just who I am, and it's my job, it's my responsibility to honor it. And what I've also heard this recently is that the callings are not just your gifts, but it's been gifted to you to bring to the world, right? So it's not so much even about us and what we can do, but it's really about this calling and the impact of following it can have to improve the world. And as we know, there's a lot of things, negative things going on in the world right now, that maybe your calling helps address one of those things. So that would be the first shift I offer up to you. The second shift, and this was a big one for me, to shift out of looking for somebody else to approve of what it is you desire to do, approve of your calling. For me, I just from kind of my childhood, I really wanted people's approval. I wanted somebody to say, yes, gosh, I believe in you, go for it. And I didn't get that in many cases. A lot of my big dream ideas and things that really bubbled up for me that were important to pursue, I didn't necessarily have somebody's approval of. And that held me back in many instances. And I will say, these callings that are coming from your heart or your soul are so near and dear to us, right? It's like when we get some feedback from a loved one that is critical, like some kind of criticism, how that hurts us, right? More so than a stranger. The same thing with these callings, because they are so near and dear to our heart. It's so easy for us to be sensitive if somebody else isn't on board with it. I want to tell you that the only person that really needs to approve of it is you. So make the shift to that inner approval, knowing again, this is something that has been put inside you. You're not making this up for some frivolous reason, but it's here inside you. So make that shift to not look externally for approval, but really to own internally, this is something that's important to me, and to take that stand for yourself. That would be the second shift that I'm recommending you take. And then the third shift is, again, this is something that was big for me. So a little backstory, I have been an achiever for all of my life. And if you think about it, you are an achiever too. You achieve big and small things every day. Sometimes we do that with very structured plans, a lot of analysis, getting feedback. And that was really the mode that I had been in up until a few years ago. I wanted to know how everything was going to work out. So what I did is, hold on one second. Make sure we're still live. There we go. Okay, had a little technical issue there. What I did with these callings and projects, it was more than just the callings. I wanted to know how everything was gonna turn out. So I would put plans together. I would really be in my head looking for feedback, getting looking at resources, getting input from a lot of people. And what ended up happening is I stalled. I stalled on my projects, and in some cases, I never even started them. Can you relate to that? Many of us can, right? Because we want to know, where is this going to take me? How is this going to turn out? And I'm here to tell you, you don't need to know. The only thing you need to do is to say yes, or the first thing you need to do is to say yes. And when you are pursuing a calling of your soul or these heart-centered desires, the beauty is you have no idea where it's going to lead you. I've heard time and time again from somebody that took a stand to pursue something, and that opened yet another door. And then they pursued that, which opened yet another door, bigger and bigger. And 5, 10, 15 years down the road, they will share these amazing stories of, I can't believe when I said yes to this then unfolded, and this then unfolded, and then here I am. Right? So shift into being okay, not knowing where it's going to lead you. Our heart and our soul don't really care. They just want us to do our best effort to honor what it is that's calling to us and to step into intuitive action and creativity to bring that idea to life. So those are the 3 shifts I wanted to present to you today, to share with you and give you a chance to think about how those shifts might need to be applied to you and how they can be applied to you if you are stuck in overthinking, overwhelm, and self-doubt regarding pursuing that calling. The next thing I want to share with you is a little bit of some insights and lessons learned on strategic achievement. And I alluded to it a little bit ago in that, hi Lisa, so glad you're here. I alluded to it a little while ago in that there are, with the callings of your soul, you don't need to have it all figured out, right? So what is strategic achievement? Strategic achievement is about plans and strategy and thinking, right here. And in doing that, we disconnect from where our true wisdom lies, which is inside. So strategic achievement for many of you might look like anxiety, running in circles, switching your decisions. And I went through all of those in my life as I was stuck in this mode of strategic achievement. So with the shifts that are happening, and more of us are really stepping into what is most important to me in my life, right? We realize life is short, life is ticking on, and how can we really live our fullest life, be our best selves? If we're living just from here, we are missing out on connecting with so much of our inner wisdom and our inner guidance and our connection with source. So strategic achievement, I'm going to suggest you kind of let that go and step into a new model of achievement, which I'm so excited to share with you today, a brief introduction to it and how it can not just revolutionize the way you achieve your goals, it can revolutionize and will revolutionize the way you lead in your life and the way that you live your life, right? So think about how your life is right now. And if you are someone that says, I don't have enough time, everything is hard, why does this keep happening to me? Chances are you're living with the paradigm of strategic achievement. So let's shift now to this new model, which is called radiant achievement. And radiant achievement, I like to say, is all about manifesting your callings and your dreams and your desires by connecting to your inner creativity and your intuitive energy, and then taking inspired actions to bring them to life. Now, if you're sitting there saying, okay, that sounds like a lot of fluff, trust me, it's not. It is a beautiful blend of connecting with your inner worth, a positive mindset, your intuitive inner listening, and hearing those inspired actions, and then taking action. So it's I like to say it's that blend of honoring our feminine qualities, our feminine energies, and our masculine energies to take the action to bring things to life. So with this new model, and I teach all about this and I coach on this, what you are able to do is follow and take action and pursue and achieve and manifest your goal, but you do it from a place of trust, from a place of joy. You will experience ease and flow. And I'm not saying you're not doing work. You're absolutely doing work, and you are growing along the way. Because in this model of achievement, it's not just about, did I reach the end goal or not? It's about, who am I becoming on that path? So you will be doing some inner work along the way, but it's done from a perspective of empowerment and leadership. It's not done from a place of judgment, like something's wrong or you need to be fixed. Not like that at all. I am here to say you are perfect just as you are, and you are in the perfect place in your life to take that next step to bring whatever it is that's calling you forward. So this new model of radiant achievement that I would love to have you even learn more about is based on 7 inner powers, and I mentioned them briefly. It's about your owning your self-worth. It's about your mindset. It's about taking inspired action and commitment. It's about rituals. It's about reflection and celebration. And all of these together, when you take those steps and then take the next step and you reflect and you listen and you honor, your journey becomes so serendipitous. And again, that flow occurs. So if there is something, again, that is calling to you, but you're stuck in overwhelm, or maybe you started your dream and then you quit because you just can't figure it out, let me tell you, don't figure it out. Let the steps come to you. Let things unfold naturally. Radiant achievement allows you to do that in a way that strategic achievement never could. So I am grateful that you're here today. If you are interested in getting more information to help you on your next steps, there's a link to join my Radiant Achievement Society. That would be a beautiful place to start to get further information and inspiration. And if you're feeling especially motivated from this, I would love to jump on a 15-minute call with you. I will put a link later for you to schedule that time with me. So I thank you. If anyone that's on the call today has any questions, I would love to answer that. And with that, I'm grateful again that you're here and that you got this introduction to the new model of radiant achievement, and are aware of some shifts that you can make starting today to allow you to step into your most fulfilling radiant life. Thank you. Bye.